everyone. Amy Wood with Dr. Cedrek McFadden, our 7 News medical consultant, who is keeping us up to date on all things coffee because we already celebrated National Coffee Day. And tomorrow is what? International Coffee Day. And this is some kind of coffee week?
It's today, actually. Yeah. We're celebrating coffee. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're celebrating coffee. Big deal. A lot of us are drinking coffee. In the US, 85% of us are drinking coffee every single day, about a cup and a half. So, it's a big deal.
Is it okay for us to love and enjoy coffee as much as we do? I'm a huge coffee fiend. I drink at least a cup in the morning, cup in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a problem?
Mm-hmm. That's not bad. I mean, coffee has many health benefits. We've heard about several of them. It can be a part of a healthy diet. Coffee has been known to increase energy. It may improve metabolism. It also may decrease the risk of several chronic illnesses such as diabetes, heart disease, certain cancers like endometrial cancer, or even liver or hepatic cancer. So there are some benefits, and it's not just the caffeine. Coffee has a bunch of other biologically active compounds such as polyphenols, magnesium, vitamin K, vitamin B, and potassium that may actually be beneficial to reduce inflammation and improve gut health. So some good benefits to coffee.
And so when it comes to us consuming coffee, are there side effects? Like, are there things we need to be watching out for, problems with it?
There can be. I mean, coffee contains caffeine, which is, let's face it, it is a psychoactive substance that can stimulate the central nervous system. As such, it can produce tremors, it can produce agitation, headaches. It also can produce trouble going to sleep. So if you're drinking coffee later in the day, it may mean you need to cut back on when you're drinking the coffee or the amount of coffee that you're drinking during those time periods.
How much coffee is too much coffee?
Well, the recommendations are that we don't exceed 400 grams of caffeine a day. So that's the equivalent of 4 8-ounce servings. So, I picked up a coffee cup here. So if you have this coffee cup here, this is about 8 ounces, okay? This is not talking about if you get sort of the larger cup. If you're drinking several of these a day, you may be drinking too much coffee. Especially in pregnant women. That's one group that we recommend that limit their coffee intake. So about 200 grams a day, because it can produce problems with sort of the weight of the fetus, or even may increase the risk of miscarriage. So there are some parameters that you may want to stay within.
There are young people sort of swooped into the trendiness of coffee, all the fun places to go and buy the stuff that's very popular. Is there a problem? Are there any specific risks for young people when it comes to coffee?
So a lot of adolescents are. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children ages 12 to 18 consume no more than 100 grams per day. So about, think about that's about 1 cup of coffee a day. And many of these cups that they're drinking at the trendy coffee shops may have lots of sugar in them. So another reason why you want to limit the amount of caffeine that they're getting. But let's face it, much younger than that, you really want to limit any exposure to not just coffee, but any caffeine, because we really don't know the long-term effects that it can have on the developing brain. There's some psychologists worry about, does it increase the likelihood they can be more attracted to other types of alcohol or drug use later in life. So much is unknown about the effects of the heart. So limiting as much as possible in the younger years. As you get older, it may be okay, but even then with some limitations.
And when should we cut back or think about, ooh, we may have a coffee addiction problem?
It is a real thing. Coffee addiction is a real thing. And the withdrawal can be actually real. If you find that, depending on your medical history, if you have certain problems such as heart disease or atrial fibrillation, where you have a funny rhythm of the heart, it could make that problem worse. Your heart rate can be elevated with lots of caffeine intake. And so you may want to limit the caffeine. If you find that you have to have coffee, and as you drink that coffee, you have to smoke cigarettes, you may want to limit the amount of coffee that you're getting. And when you limit, or if you decide that you need to cut away caffeine completely, you don't want to stop at cold turkey, because that's going to be really hard. You can have actual withdrawal symptoms. So you want to gradually do this. Perhaps introduce some decaf in the midst of the coffee that you're drinking, so that you can slowly do that instead of quitting cold turkey.
All right, Dr. Cedrek McFadden, thank you.